Choosing your retirement date can look like a simple calendar decision, but it's rarely that simple because 1 month can change your taxes, 1 quarter can change your bonus, your health insurance, or your pension calculation, and one more year can change your portfolio withdrawals in retirement. But there's another side that doesn't show up cleanly on a spreadsheet, and that's your stress level, your health, your spouse, your travel plans, and your own sense that you're ready to move on. And the mistake that I see people make is letting only one voice win. Either they chase every last dollar and stay too long, or they leave before they understand all the financial trade-offs. So in this video, I want to walk you through a practical way to choose your retirement date. Not the perfect date because life doesn't work that neatly, but a date that you can defend financially and live with personally. But first, my name is Justin Haywood. I'm a certified financial planner, and I've helped hundreds of people retire with confidence, and I want to help you do the same. So the first thing to understand is that your retirement date has a price tag. Sometimes that price tag is small, and sometimes it can be surprisingly large. And before you decide whether retiring earlier or later makes the most sense, you need to know what's actually at stake. So let's start with an obvious number, your earned income. Let's say you earn $120,000 per year and you work an additional 6 months. That's roughly $60,000 of gross income. But don't stop there. Will you receive an annual bonus? Will another employer retirement plan contribution be made on your behalf? Are stock grants vesting? Are you close to earning another year of pension service? Are you keeping employer health insurance for a few more months before Medicare or private coverage begins? Those items can turn a simple 6 more months of work decision into a much larger planning decision. Then look at what you're not withdrawing. Suppose your retirement spending requires $7,000 per month to be removed from your portfolio. So working 6 additional months might mean you avoid $42,000 of withdrawals. And that money gets to stay invested and might reduce the pressure that you have later on in retirement. So let me give you a simplified example. Imagine someone that's planning to retire at the end of March, but after reviewing the numbers, they realize that staying until the end of September could add $60,000 of salary, $10,000 of bonus, a few thousand extra dollars of employer retirement contributions, and they get to avoid roughly $40,000 of portfolio withdrawals. So on paper, that 6-month delay could be worth around $100,000 before taxes and before considering any long-term planning benefits. And for some people, that's an easy decision. They stay, they work that extra 6 months and use that time to strengthen their cash reserves, reduce debt, prepare their income plan, and possibly open up planning flexibility down the line. But for someone else, the answer might be very different. Maybe they've already saved enough and that extra 6 months just doesn't really matter in the long run. Maybe their job is affecting their health. Maybe their spouse is already retired and they've postponed life together for too long. Or maybe they're caring for an aging parent and they just need that extra time. Whatever the situation is, I just want you to be careful because money is measurable, so it tends to dominate the conversation. But measurable does not always mean it's the most important. A spreadsheet can tell you what you gain by working longer, of course, but it can't tell you what another stressful year of work costs your health, your marriage, or your early retirement years. Now, that doesn't mean that you should ignore the money. It just means that you should put the money into proper context. A good retirement date should answer 4 questions. First, do I have a sustainable income plan? Second, do I understand the tax impact of retiring in this year versus next year? Do I know how health insurance and Medicare will work? And fourth, am I emotionally ready for the change in identity, routine, and purpose that retirement brings? And that last question matters a lot more than people think because retirement isn't just the absence of work. It's a new structure for your time. And the happiest retirees I see are not simply escaping something, they're moving towards something. They have some idea of how they want to spend their days, who they want to spend their time with, and what gives their life meaning when work is no longer the center of their week. So here's the framework that I like people to use. Create 3 possible dates. The first date is your financially safe date. This is the earliest date where your plan still appears sustainable under reasonable assumptions. You're not guessing, you're looking at spending, income sources, Social Security, Medicare, pensions, taxes, your investments, all the risks that you're taking, inflation, and your overall emergency reserves. The second date is your financially improved date. This is the date where working a little longer produces a clear, measurable benefit. Maybe it gets you through bonus season or to Medicare, or it might help you avoid large withdrawals during a bad market. Maybe it gives you 1 more year of retirement plan contributions. Whatever the case is, this is a safer date than the first. The third date is your life ready date. This is the date that best lines up with your energy, health, family, and personal readiness. For some people, this date is later because they still enjoy their work. For others, it's sooner because continuing to work has become too costly in ways that aren't financial. And once you have those 3 dates, ask one question: what am I buying by working longer? If working longer buys you financial security that you don't yet have, that's important. It may be worth making adjustments and staying employed, at least for a little while. If working longer buys comfort but not necessity, then you have a different decision on your hands. Extra money, of course, is always nice, but it's not always worth the trade-off. So I want to ask you the reverse question: what am I spending by retiring sooner? You may be spending a bonus. You may be spending tax flexibility. You may be spending a larger portfolio withdrawal. You might be spending the ability to delay Social Security. And those are real costs. The goal isn't to pretend that they don't exist, but to decide whether those costs are acceptable given your overall plan. And there may also be a middle ground, as there is for most people, because retirement isn't always a hard stop. Some people can negotiate a reduced schedule, they can do consulting, they can work remotely in some cases, or do a project-based transition. And this can be an effective bridge when the numbers suggest that staying longer might help, but your life is telling you that the current pace isn't sustainable. The key here is just to be intentional. You don't want to retire just because you had a bad week, and you don't want to keep working just because another year would make your spreadsheet look better. Both can be mistakes. So before you circle a date on the calendar, run the numbers and step back and evaluate the life side with the same seriousness. If the numbers say you're ready and the life side says it's time also, that's a powerful combination. If the numbers say you need more time, listen to that. If the numbers are strong, but your fear is keeping you at work indefinitely, that deserves attention too. Because retirement timing isn't about finding the mathematically perfect day. It's about making a well-informed decision that aligns your money with your life. If you found this video helpful and it helped you think differently about your retirement date, please like the video and subscribe to our channel to see more content like this in the future. And if you want help building a retirement income and tax plan around your own timeline, you can book a meeting directly with me using the link in the description. And if you're looking for something else to watch, I've recorded another video right here that I think that you'll find helpful.